Hi everyone and welcome back to the May WARNO tournament. Today we are watching Rampage versus P.Uri.Tanner, both coming in hot with some of the Murat divisions. So we have Rampage playing as the 2nd Panzer Grenadiers on the left hand side in red, and on the right hand side in blue we have Tanner playing as the 4th Mod Switchen division. Both sides have access to the FS troops, the forward deployment troops. We can see some here at the bottom and some in the middle for Tanner. One squad forward deployable for Rampage at the bottom there, and a couple at the top. Both players sending plenty to the centre. Quite a lot going up here for Tanner to defend, I assume. I don't think he'll be doing an attack there. This is more of a defensive measure, including a chopper. Now down here, quite often we see the player who is in Tanner's position doing a hard push into Foxtrot. That is not the case here. Equally, Rampage isn't sending a huge amount down here. He's sending a lot of defensive units. So the fight for this game is going to be in the center. Tanner would like to get control of this area, but credit to Rampage, he has got forward deployed units in this area to stop that happening where possible. Rampage going out a bit too far with that. Unimog being used for recon. He'll want to put that in this point probably. Obviously, these things won't automatically fire at empty vehicles. There is a setting for that. And that is the risk. If you have the setting set to allow them to go past without shooting or wasting your missiles, then they can go past and scout. Early anti-tank jet out for Rampage. And a tornado. Trying to decide if it's going for something. It looks like it's trying to get a target lock, but hasn't actually fired. Admittedly, there isn't any actual air defense down for Tanner at the moment. He is bringing in a Shilka there now. Nothing coming in at the bottom. I don't think there's going to be much movement down here. It feels like ages since we've seen this map be played. Was it the first round of this tournament or the second round for May on this map? I honestly can't remember now, but it feels like it's been a while. Command coming in there for Rampage. Just the one art and a command coming in at the bottom for Tanner. The center, no one really firmly in control of it. I suppose Tanner's got more units actually in the point. There's a couple of Pioneer squads here, an Armburst and a Flam. Leopard 1A5s up here. I would say that in terms of numbers, it's certainly in Tanner's favour, but obviously the Leopard 1A5s are the better tank in this little matchup between that and the little T55s. T55s have 10 front armour, 7 for the Leopard, but their actual tank gun is slightly better, so it's 15 to 14, and its range is 2,295 versus the T55, which is only 2,120. So that armour is, you know, of benefit when they're in range, but the grand scheme of things, the Leopard 1A5s are going to outrange them and get shots off before they can even fire. Command coming in there. Command is in position here. Command also going into Charlie for Tanner, so Tanner will have the advantage there. Command marker has gone down for Rampage on that ATGM squad. Early point advantage to Tanner, +2. Not a big advantage, really. He needs to get a command in the center as well, but he'll be reluctant to spend that many points on it. Did bring this chopper in early, but hasn't really done much with it. It has taken damage, so I think it's been hit by one of Rampage's aircraft. Maybe that's why he called in those 2 jets early on. It is a shame though, because they're very useful early game, because no one has anti-air at the front line, and they do have to spend the money on jets to do that. But obviously as the game goes on, they're less and less useful, because when you build up air defenses in your front line, then, you know, a chopper really isn't going to catch any troops out. Noticing quite a large amount of reinforcement coming in here. I say large amount. Comparatively with what's on the field right now, it's a lot. I mean, it's 2 tanks, Not the most expensive tanks. Those Leopards are only 80 points. And some Jaeger squads, which aren't FS Jaeger, so they're a little bit cheaper. Unfortunately, we only see the price of the Unimog there, but they're not the most expensive squad. Another Jeopard coming in at the top, and the Leopard 1 in 101. Now, this is the one thing that Rampage will struggle with in this game, is that his anti-air isn't great. He is going to rely to some extent on these jets. What's that coming in to fire at? He is going for that chopper again, immediately, just after it's been repaired. Taking fire from Shilka and an MiG-29, and those two Cubs there. Tornado coming in as well. He will not want that flying over that way, or he will lose it to those Cubs. Tanner still keeping that Mi-24 alive. Costly little move. Two commands coming in now for Rampage. He will cap Juliet and Foxtrot. Whether he goes for the option of capping Delta as well is up for debate. Not a lot of movement up here. In the grand scheme of things, I think, you know, Rampage has more units, but I don't think he's going to push with what he's got there. Control the center, pretty much in Tanner's hands right now. We're having a quiet period, which is unusual for these two players. Tanner can be quite an aggressive player. And equally, I've seen Rampage be quite aggressive. So this is quite sedate for both of them, to be honest. There's just a lot of building up of forces. Now, I was going to say, command switch to Rampage now, +2. Tornado coming in to take out another chopper. Did get the kill on the chopper, but the SPG-9 squad survived, obviously, because they magically teleport to the ground. It's still a great pet peeve of mine that infantry and choppers magically teleport to the ground when the chopper is destroyed. Pretty sure they should just be dead. Same as if you blow up the ground vehicle, they're dead. Another command coming in for Alpha there to neutralize again. Tanner wanting to maintain his small advantage. Someone's jet went down. That could have possibly been... Whose was that? Is that a MiG? I think that might be a MiG. Still a recon chopper down here. Absolutely nothing defending any of these commands, by the way. HE bomber coming in for these Jaeger. Oh, just missed them. There will be defense for that command, but there's nothing here. There's nothing here. That's a real option for Rampage to get something around the back. Obviously, Tanner trying to stop that happening with the Mi-2. But equally, there's nothing defending that. There's nothing defending that. This is defended to some extent, unless you got something around the back. I mean, you could technically get a squad all the way around here. And up this side, and you might kill that if Rampage wasn't paying attention. All these units in the middle, and nothing's engaging. A little bit of a fight up here, because Tanner's moving his Alf Clara around. But otherwise, very good. This is a weirdly quiet game for these two players. Recon chopper. There is a command there. FS Jaeger commander. He wants to get that in the center clearly. T55 spam. Perhaps this is a sign Tanner is planning to do a push with mass T55s. He's also got the missile ones coming in at the top there. A little bit of movement. 2A3, here it comes. The big daddy of the tanks in the game. Smattering of fire down here. A little bit of combat with these Jäger Aufkul. All these tanks being called down there to assist. Need to be careful though, because there are 2 Leopard 1F5s which will outrange them, though their sight is blocked by this forest here. Pioneer armbusts being called in. Another Jeopard heading towards the middle. Another Jeopard coming in at the top there. I think that was those tanks taking a couple of shots at those Pioneers. Looks like a bit of an engagement here. Looks almost like someone had bombed that area. Or the flamethrowers have just set everything on fire. That was 2 squads of Pioneers and Pioneer Flams. Good use of the SPW-70s to take out the Pioneer squads because they don't have any anti-tank. However, these Pioneer armbusts will rip those things to shreds. There's one gone. And the second one, yeah. No chance. Absolutely no chance. 28 minutes to go. And they're both kind of just sitting pretty. One of them needs to make a push. And I'm genuinely surprised no one has yet. There's FS Jaeger Command coming in for Tanner as well now, probably heading towards the centre. We do see that Rampage has his commander in there. I can't help but imagine that's immediately going to get HE bombed as soon as it walks in the point. Couple of squads sneaking around the back here. Tanner does have that recon chopper there. Command being sent up that way. I mean, let's be realistic here. Tanner could have had a commander in this point for quite a while. He's had a significant amount of control of this side and all of these forces here. Now, sending T55s into a forest against potentially... I mean, yes, there's only 1 squad of Pioneer Armbust there, so they're not a massive threat. There's a cluster bomber coming in there. Oh, he's hit at the back. Seed coming in as well. Seed's getting off some very good shots. I think they killed 2 there. Those clusters were way too late, though. But good kills for the seed plane. Is that coming around for another pass? It is. It's out of the alarm missiles, though. So this is the push now from Tanner. Those tanks being put to use, and Rampage is running. More Pioneers coming in as well. Yeah, Rampage is getting everything out of there. He stopped his troops. The armbust will be the issue for these tanks. Though they are running. Level 105's coming down. That's not the best idea. He is significantly outnumbered right now by Tanner and his tanks. Tanner pulling back, though. That's a shame for Tanner because he seriously outnumbered those tanks there. The only thing he had to worry about was the Leopard 2A3. But outnumbering these at close range, it would be a one-hit kill. If you're in their face, it's going to be a one-hit kill either way. Because for those who don't know, who maybe don't play Eugen games, Wargame obviously is where this particular thing comes from. I'm not sure about SD2 having this. But the closer you are with an armor-piercing round, the higher the damage is for all of these kinetic energy weapons, basically tank guns. The closer your tank gun is, the higher the damage. So, although, yes, the longest range says, you know, it's 14 penetration, it increases for every 175 or 195 meters in WARNO. I can't remember the exact number in WARNO. I think it's different to Wargame because of the distance scaling, but for every 195 meters it gets closer, that penetration goes up by 1. So you can rapidly increase your damage output. And that's why even a T55 poses a significant threat to a Leopard 2A3 if you are close to them. The same with the M48, the cheap tank. You know, that can pose a threat to a 2A3 as long as you are up close and personal. More troops and squads coming in at the bottom here, 3 of them. I'm not sure if they're going to be in a defensive position or not. Those FS Jaeger Aufkul sitting at the back there. Just, oh, they almost opened fire and gave away their position. I don't think they did in the end. Command in here for Tanner, +5. He's got a command in the center and down here now. Tanner just holding. Rampage having to do a push on the center. He doesn't really have a choice. Where are these SPW-70s? Is he going to drive those all the way up to Juliet? Very possibly. This is a bit of a push for Tanner as well at the bottom here. I think he just wants to hold that corner. He doesn't necessarily need to take the whole thing, though he does need to hold the middle. He needs to kill that 2A3. Not seeing any anti-tank jets at the moment from Tanner. He is a mass spammer HE bombers though. HE bomber in for Rampage, killed the command that Tanner had in that corner. HE bomber coming in here, hitting the center, trying to do some damage to these troops. Immediately lost that jet. It is a suicide run. There are quite a few Jeopards here now. Tanner deciding it's not worth doing any more runs on that and has evac'd his jets. This still working its way around the back very, very, very slowly in hope that it can shoot anything that's coming in, I assume. I mean, they're not going to last long though. They're going to get seen and immediately bombed. Here's this fight I promised from the start. I was expecting there to be a more constant battle for this center point. But here we see a heavy push from Rampage, and he is making progress. He is taking fire from this ATGM, and it doesn't seem like he's able to see it. Admittedly, he doesn't have any recon there, so this could be firing without being seen. Tanner's push at the bottom here going fairly well. He's cleared this side. He's managed to kill both of the Leopard 1A5s. There is another command coming in for that point by the looks of it. This command's going to get killed by these Jaeger Aufkul because that MI2 is not in position. Rampage will be enjoying this. These may or may not manage to kill this. Has this got much armor? No, it doesn't. It is just a little truck. Yeah, just a little jeep, so they will kill it if they can get close. But he's about to lose this command here to the Jaeger Aufkul. That lovely Panzer Force 3. Why isn't it firing? Maybe they can't see each other yet. I'm trying to keep an eye on it because it will pop eventually, but this middle fight has swung in Tanner's favour because he's just surrounding from every side. Leopard 2A3 has taken damage. ATGM troops been taken out. But none of these troops are going to survive from Rampage. These Jaeger Aufkul still not killed that command. Command in that corner again of Foxtrot. Back to +5 for Tanner. Cluster bomber coming in there. Finally to kill that tank. Yes, lovely strike. Probably going to lose that jet, yes. Calculated loss, I suppose. HE bombers were going to come in and drop, but changed his mind. He has unfortunately lost one of those as well. As a result, he might as well have dropped his bombs. There we go. FS Jaeger Aufkul has killed that command. Back to just +3 for Tanner. I'm sure it won't be long before he reinforces that point, though. But in terms of what's on the map, back heavily in Tanner's favour. His SPW obviously aren't recon units. They haven't spotted this command yet. They're just driving around the point. Reinforcements coming in at the top there. Aha! Those AM2 T55s with the missile got right round the back, going for the kill in Hotel. Basically doing exactly what Rampage did down here. Rampage going after those with some Aufkul and keeping that chopper on top of them. But that's Hotel dead. These tanks will be put into a position potentially to cover this road and stop any reinforcements getting through. Well, they are running out of fuel. Center back firmly in Tanner's control. More reinforcements pushing in from the back. I say firmly, but right now he doesn't have any tanks there. He could pull some of these tanks from the bottom up. SPW-9s rushing around the back. They're hunting for that command. That's the only reason they're there. They've completely failed to find the command up here. Leon 105 at the back there. Obviously took some fire from that SPG-9, which is, as I said, dead, as we would expect. And there's the surrender. Rampage surrenders. Kills to losses, not that big of a difference in the grand scheme of things. Only 1,000, but just over. 1,050 if you want to be pedantic about it. But yeah, that was a good match. A really weird build-up where there was very little aggression from either player, which surprised me. Genuinely, from these two players, I was expecting much more aggression throughout. It was a little bit quieter than I expected. But in terms of units that did well, Leopard 2A3 as always, and on the other side, nothing really standing out there for Tanner. Maybe the T55 AM2 that got a few kills, but obviously it was killing vehicles with infantry in, so not the most exciting kills. Good game, guys. A very quiet build-up game for a good section of that, but nice to see a good big fight in the middle and a little bit of sniping of CVs around the back. I'm surprised that Tanner managed to get tanks around the back. I didn't even spot that till they were in there. I was too busy concentrating on the middle and the bottom. But good game, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe. And tune in tomorrow for Game 2 of this matchup.